The first episode of Grey's Anatomy Season 18 has been released, and it has sparked a lot of controversy and rumors. If you're a major Grey's fan like us, this video is just what you need. Sit back and relax as we dive into Camilla Luddington teasing Kate Walsh's return to the show and more. Is Kate Walsh returning? Camilla Luddington, who plays Jo Wilson on Grey's Anatomy, has teased Kate Walsh's wonderful comeback to the show. The lengthy ABC medical drama announced earlier this month that Addison would return for several episodes in Season 18, which premieres on Thursday, September 30th. Luddington, who portrays Jo Wilson, and Chris Carmack, who plays Dr Atticus Lincoln, spoke to ET about Addison's big comeback, hinting that she'll be engaged in a significant storyline when the new season premieres. Since Addison Montgomery's, Kate Walsh's departure from private practice, many Grey's Anatomy viewers have anticipated her return. When the character returns in Season 18, that desire is ready to become a reality. So what's next for the audience to look forward to? Camilla Luddington, Jo Wilson of Grey's Anatomy Season 18, just verified a big Addison and Jo fan theory. Here's what we know so far. ABC announced Walsh's return well before Grey's Anatomy Season 18 premiered on September 30th. Addison will appear in several episodes of the upcoming season, according to the network. Walsh also took to social media to congratulate herself on her successful return to Grey's Anatomy. Would you look who it is? Well, Dr Addison Montgomery is returning to Grey Sloan Memorial Hospital. That's right, my loves, Walsh stated on September 2nd. When Addison's return was announced, Grey's Anatomy viewers immediately began formulating hypotheses. Many fans anticipate the character's reunion with Amelia Shepard, Katerina Scorsoni, and Meredith Grey Pompeo. However, since Jo is an OB/GYN resident, many fans have speculated that Jo would play a role in Addison's narrative. Meanwhile, in an interview with Entertainment Tonight before the Season 18 debut of Grey's Anatomy, Luddington verified the Jo and Addison fan hypothesis. We hope fans aren't expecting Addison to appear in the first episode, because if they are, we hate to inform you that you will be disappointed. While many Grey's Anatomy fans were expecting to see Addison in the Season 18 premiere, it seems like they will have to wait a bit longer. According to an ABC press release, Walsh will return in Grey's Anatomy Season 18 Episode 3, titled Hotter Than Hell, which will broadcast on October 14th. What occurs when Addison arrives in Grey Sloan Memorial is also highlighted in the description for the upcoming episode. According to the description, Seattle's favorite redhead returns and blesses the Grey Sloan halls with her knowledge and skill as she tries to assist Richard, James Pickens Jr., in teaching the newest crop of residents. Now that the pieces are beginning to fall into place for Addison's comeback on Grey's Anatomy Season 18, we're hopeful the cameo will live up to the hype, so prepare yourself. On October 14th, the ruler of all that is evil will return. Have you seen the first episode yet? If not, then go nowhere as we quickly go through the scenes. Even Grey's Anatomy seems to want to pretend Season 17 never occurred. Season 18 begins with a brief housekeeping message informing us that the program will now depict a fictional post-pandemic scenario, which we all understand. The consequences of the epidemic on physicians seemed appropriate for a medical program. And sure, seeing McDreamy on the death beach for the first time was a life-affirming experience. However, the situation soon escalated into something far more strenuous. So the show, like us, never wants to talk about it again. And our sympathies go out to Andrew DeLuca, who deserves more, and we all know it. Things seem to have changed in this season's premiere. Grey Sloan isn't the only one who's abandoning the masks and COVID-19 protocols. The operating room is humming with activity. On benches, no one has a nervous breakdown. Meredith is no longer a doll. Friends, we did it. It's time to move on to greater and better things, hopefully. Is Grey's Anatomy bringing Nick back after all this time? Should Weber and Bailey be concerned about Meredith's move to Minnesota? Get comfy because we're covering these questions now. Isn't it incredible? Grey's Anatomy is bringing Nick back after all this time. Even though he only appeared in one episode in Season 14, Meredith and the gorgeous transplant doctor who saved her life had incredible chemistry. He was swooning, with his flirting, raising his niece since his sister couldn't, and wishing to become a shoe salesman in another lifetime. So it was a surprise that they didn't have him stay around for many episodes that season. And perhaps more importantly, it was the first time since Derek that Meredith considered the idea of falling in love. Nick Marsh was the one who accomplished it. Years later, she meets him again in Minnesota Minnesota. This man has a lot of confidence. Meredith is taken to the bar when she returns to her hotel, where he is waiting for her. The two of them still have a lot of chemistry together. It's tangible. What a wonderful surprise that was. Meredith, on the other hand, wants to be clear that she is not sleeping with him. She tells him she's seeing someone at first, but then quickly retracts. She and Carmack allegedly started dating. However, his younger son Austin began to have panic attacks after discovering that his father was moving on from his mother, so they called the entire thing off. We pity anybody who has been waiting patiently for a Meredith-Carmack relationship, since it seems that they will have to wait a long time. We are sorry for the loss. Anyway, let's get back to Nick. Although Meredith is unmarried, she refuses to sleep with him. That isn't to say the discussion isn't enjoyable. She tells him about nearly dying from COVID, and he clearly understands what it's like to be a miracle and the burden that comes with being given a second chance due to her sparing his life. He even accompanies her to her hotel suite, and the two of them can't stop smiling. Oh my God, they're going to hook up, and it'll be spectacular. So maybe Weber and Bailey should be concerned about Meredith's move to Minnesota and the loss of another surgeon and a friend. It's not like the search for physicians to replace Avery, Korosik, DeLuca, and Joe has gone smoothly. They've been a disaster until Bailey, Carmack, and Maggie, the hiring committee, meet the plastic surgeon Dr. Lynn. She seems to be fantastic. She's never been in charge of a department, but she's not shy about explaining why Gray Sloan wants her. Then they have a genuine need for her. Weber interrupts the interview because he needs a cosmetic surgeon to save his life after a man blew a firecracker straight into his face. I assume this facility just had one plastic surgeon the whole time? Regardless, they grant Lynn permission to work in the OR while completing her interview with Bailey, Maggie, and Carmack. She excels at what she does. Do you have any idea who isn't? Schmidt, the resident who is helping her. Bailey offers Lynn the job of chief of plastics after the operation, but she declines. She claims that she depends heavily on locals to assist her in her work, and the residents are not up to the task. Ouch. It lands squarely in Richard's face. He assures Lynn that he'll get them back in shape. They've fallen behind due to the pandemic's frequent absences from the OR. He ensures her, "You have my word." Meredith was meant to be in charge of the residency program. Perhaps it clarifies the issue. In other news, Grey's Anatomy has another wedding to attend. You may be wondering who is getting married right now. Teddy and Owen are a couple. Finally, after all these years, it's finally here. What an extraordinary tale to tell your grandchildren someday. They attempt to have a little celebration in the park with only their children, Owen's mother and his sister Megan, who had the abdominal surgery herself. Unfortunately, at the Seattle Phoenix Festival, the priest performing the ceremony is run over by a group of motorcyclists conducting an underwear bike ride. He dies on Teddy and Owen's surgery table. Wow, I'd forgotten how much I missed penning lines like that during my vacation. In any case, people are angry. Most people would consider your priest's death just before declaring your husband and wife to be a bad omen, as if Teddy and Owen didn't have enough of them already. Megan comes to the rescue. She does, of course. She's a breath of new air on this program, and it'd be great to see her more often. And now that Grey's Anatomy has ruined one of the few happy endings the program has ever given us by breaking up Megan and Riggs, she may be after everything is said and done. It's a terrible pity. Does she seem to be in good health? Megan gets married online, and Owen takes Teddy to Joe's bar, where she is shocked by all of their friends and family, and the two marry. Isn't it about time that Joe's bar hosted a wedding? We hope you enjoyed this session. Remember to like and subscribe to this channel, and click the bell symbol to get instant notifications whenever we post new videos.